As tensions rise between Washington and Ottawa, a powerful shift is underway in North American trade. The Buy Canadian movement is no longer a slogan, it's a nationwide wave reshaping the marketplace. From supermarkets to major retail chains, shelves once filled with U.S. goods are now dominated by Canadian products. According to the latest Ledger survey, more than 71% of Canadians say they now prioritize domestic goods over imports from the U.S., a sharp increase from just 45% a few years ago. This change is not only economic, but political. It sends a clear message to Washington. Canadians are choosing loyalty to their own producers. The results are dramatic. Sales of U.S. products in Canada have fallen nearly 30% in a single year, marking one of the most significant shocks in the history of bilateral trade. American brands once seen as untouchable, whether in cereals, snacks, or soft drinks, are losing ground. Canadian retailers like Loblaws, Metro, and Sobeys have pledged to expand shelf space for domestic goods while phasing out U.S. imports. Smaller stores are following the same path, fearing backlash from customers. The impact is hitting U.S. agriculture especially hard. Exports to Canada, once worth more than $19 billion annually, have collapsed to their lowest level in 15 years. Soybeans, corn, and beef have been hardest hit, with contracts cancelled and shipments rejected. In states like Iowa, Nebraska, and Illinois, warehouses are overflowing with unsold crops. Prices are falling, farmer incomes are plummeting, and many families face bankruptcy. The American Farm Bureau warns that over 125,000 agricultural jobs are now at risk. Meanwhile, Ottawa has stepped in with financial aid for Canadian farmers, urging consumers to eat homegrown. The food and beverage sector is suffering too. Imports of U.S. beer and wine into Canada have dropped by more than 35% in just 1 year, the steepest decline in decades. Once iconic American drinks like Budweiser, Jack Daniels, Pepsi, and Coca-Cola are being replaced by Niagara wines, Canadian whiskies, and domestic craft beers. For many consumers, the choice is not just about quality but about pride. And once new habits are formed, experts warn it will be difficult for U.S. brands to win back Canadian buyers. The logistics sector shows the same story. Truck traffic carrying U.S. goods into Canada has fallen more than 22%, the sharpest drop since 2008. At key crossings like Detroit-Windsor and Buffalo-Fort Erie, long lines of American trucks now sit idle with nowhere to deliver. Warehouses in Detroit and Minneapolis are overflowing with unsold goods, while Canadian logistics firms expand their networks and capture new markets in Europe and Asia. Rail shipments have also dropped, with companies like Union Pacific and BNSF reporting major revenue losses. The balance of power in North American supply chains is shifting. Canada is strengthening its independence while the U.S. risks losing its role as a trade hub. The political consequences are equally striking. Nearly 70% of Canadians now say they support tougher restrictions on U.S. goods, even if it escalates tensions. What began as an economic protest is turning into a cultural movement. Supporting Canadian-made products is now seen as an act of patriotism. On social media, in community campaigns, and in everyday conversations, Buy Canadian has become a rallying cry. This new reality creates a deep paradox. Just a few years ago, the USMCA trade deal was celebrated as a breakthrough in regional cooperation. Today, Canada is building new economic walls and reducing its reliance on American imports. Many experts warn that North America could be entering a new era of separation, not integration. The end of an era of trade dominance is clear. From farms to factories, from beer bottles to railcars, U.S. products are being pushed out of Canada at historic speed. Millions of American workers face job losses, thousands of companies are cutting production, and many risk bankruptcy. Canada, meanwhile, is reshaping its economy, boosting domestic production, and diversifying its trading partners. This shift marks a turning point. Canada is no longer simply a dependent market for U.S. goods. It is becoming a self-reliant hub with growing international influence. For the United States, the price of tariffs, political tension, and consumer backlash is the collapse of an advantage once thought untouchable. This is USA News Report. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.